Pixar movies are often considered kids' movies, although they've shown time and time again to be some of the best movies of a generation for a wide variety of audience. We're going to think a little outside the box today and uncover which of the main characters in Pixar films have some of the highest power levels. Let's find out where your favorite character ranks on today's Tier Masters. Welcome back to Tier Masters, everyone. Today we've got another Power Levels video and we'll be going over the main characters of Pixar movies. Some of the movies may be missing here, but we're just going to go with what we got, so let's get into it. Up first, we've got Luca, and he's got a pretty powerful shape-shifting ability. I wouldn't by any means consider him like an overpowering character, but he's going to go solidly in the A tier. Whether it's just serendipity or his amazing driving and backwards driving and drifting skills to somehow being an incredibly good spy, Mater's the character that up front wouldn't seem very powerful, but he's really probably one of the most powerful Pixar characters of all time. Tow Mater's no doubt an S tier here. Okay, up next we've got the food critic from Ratatouille. He's just kind of an angry dude, so he's an F tier. Next, we've got Arlo from The Good Dinosaur. He shows some feats of strength, but his real power comes with working together with his buddy. He's not an overpowering character, but he's definitely not one to be trifled with. He can deal some damage, so I'm going to put Arlo in B tier. So next up is Buzz Lightyear, and a lot of his power comes in his belief in himself. You know, many of the toys, especially Woody, like to give him crap because they don't actually believe he can do something, and then he just kind of achieves it. He's not always the brains of the operation, but compared to a lot of the toys, he can do some incredible things, so I'm going to put him in A tier. Next, we've got Carl from Up. He had a little cool plan with his balloons and everything at the beginning of the movie, but besides that, I mean, he kind of gets carried, and there's not a whole lot he can just do, so he's going in F tier. So I believe this is Miguel from Coco, and from what I remember, he's got some pretty cool abilities, but they don't necessarily seem helpful in the slightest. Again, he can do more than, an average person, but I mean, so can most of these people up here, so I'm gonna stick him in C tier. Next, we've got Colette, and while she's just kind of a human who doesn't have any superpowers or anything, she did had to overcome some adversity, and I believe she was like the first woman in that restaurant that she worked in or whatever. So she's just kind of an exceptional human who can follow a plan and execute, so I'm going to put her in B tier. So kind of like Mater, Dory is kind of a serendipitous character. She's kind of got good luck always going for her, but she really doesn't have a lot of the skill set and X factor that Mater does. So she's going to go down in D tier. A lot of what Eve has going for her is she's this future technology that's way ahead of our time. She's an incredible help to Wall-E, and much of what she's able to do is over the heads of pretty much all these characters here. So Eve's an S tier. Up next is Flik, and he's kind of a simple character with a straightforward story of trying to work together to overcome evil. Not too much going for him, so he's going to go in D tier. Next up, we've got Hopper. He's kind of a mastermind, but with some weaknesses. He really can only do what a bug can do. Nothing too crazy that's outside of the realm of the movie, so I'm going to put him above Flik in C tier. Okay, we've got all the emotions from Inside Out. Really, if you take this at face value, they're just kind of controlling what a human does. So we're going to put this on, a human level. We'll put him in D tier. Jessie's very good at following orders and executing and getting things done. She's really not always the ringleader of the group and not overly powerful, but someone you would want on your team. So I'm going to put her in C tier. In the series of Cars movies, we see Lightning McQueen go from a character that no one can hang with to someone who's really falling behind. Overall, the main thing he's got going for him is racing. There's not a whole lot else. So I'm actually going to put him below Mater in A tier. So at first, Alfredo would probably go straight in the F tier, seeing as he's not really talented in any way. But I think one of the main things that Remy taught him is he's able to put a plan together and execute. Whether or not he's the main talent in that plan is not really important, but he's at least able to run a team at this point, so he's going to go in D tier. Marlin's a grumpy dude, and really in the Finding Nemo movie, you can't really separate his effectiveness from Dory's. I definitely wouldn't put him above. I probably won't put him below, so he's also going to go in D tier. Mike Wazowski is an example of a really weak character that finds a way to be helpful. You could say that he's maximized his potential in some way, so he's going to end up in the C tier. Mr. Incredible is very much the brawn of the operation. He's been shown to be able to figure things out, but he can also just resort to his strength to overcome his problems. All in all, very powerful character. I'm going to put him in A tier. Next up, we've got the brothers from Onward. They can seem to be quite crafty and have some pretty useful supernatural and magical abilities. So with that being said, I'm going to put these guys in the S tier. Randall is shown to be a strong, stealthy character in the Monsters movies, and for really most of the characters in those films, they're no match for him. He's not the strongest in his universe, but he's going to go in the A tier. There's no doubt about it. Remy's got an exceptional ability that no one can touch. He's got an innate ability to prepare food and cook, and he's overcome a lot of difficult obstacles. He's also going to be an S tier character. Next up is our little Boy Scout Russell. He's got quite a bit of knowledge for his age and has shown to be pretty useful. Definitely got nothing that's overpowerful, but considering what he's been able to accomplish in the movie, I think he's going to belong in B tier. Next, we've got Elastigirl, and I'd probably scale her pretty similarly to Mr. Incredible. While they have different abilities, they both have been shown to be able to think in a fight, but also use their physical powers to their advantage. So she's also going to go in the A tier. Merida has been shown to have the heart of a warrior and a fighter's skill set. She's not going to shy from a challenge and has some impressive feats to her name. So she's also going to go in the S tier. So next up is Joe, and it kind of looks like we've already engraved a spot for him in the F tier. When he's in his spirit form and soul, it's kind of separate from everything in the physical world, and there's nothing from a power standpoint in the physical world that's going to put him above anyone else. So Joe's going to go in F tier. So Spot kind of goes hand in hand with Arlo. He's pretty crafty by himself and can get out of things in a pinch, but he kind of needs his buddy to be at full potential, so he's going to go in B tier. There's no question about it, Sully is an S tier character. From a physical and scare standpoint, he's been shown to be at the top of his game amongst the characters of his world, but he's also been able to think his way out of problems in ways that no other characters really imagined. I'd consider him the most powerful character in that universe, and he's an S tier. Syndrome's got some powerful technology to his name, and ironically, even though he's an evil genius, his downfall pretty much ends up being his ego or his overconfidence in his plans. He's still quite capable of causing some real problems as shown in the movie, so he's going to go in A tier. Wally is a hilarious protagonist, and while he does have an incredible accomplishment or set of accomplishments within his movie, he really just kind of executes on a plan and has the help of a friend. He's got some funky little gadgets here, but he wasn't really designed to be a military or war bot or anything, so I'm going to put him in B tier. Woody often steps up and tries to take leadership, and really throughout the series of Toy Story movies, we get to see him develop as a character. He's got a ton of experience under his belt and has solved a variety of problems. Again, he's just a toy, and outside of being able to talk, they can't really do anything special. So considering his experience and lack of physical prowess, I'm going to put him in B tier. Alright, well that does it for my Pixar characters list. Who are some underrated characters that either are or aren't on this list that you think are incredibly powerful within the Pixar universe? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.